Welcome back to On the Sideline. I'm your host, Keelan Lee. In this week's episode, we recap all the amazing games from week one, discuss if it's panic time for Tua and the Dolphins after their disappointing loss to the Colts, and what are my thoughts on most teams' stealth jerseys for the 2025-26 NFL season. That's all coming here right now on the Sideline. All right, kicking things off, we got the Cowboys and the Eagles, first game of the season. And honestly, this game was actually pretty fun to watch. Like if you look at the first half of the box, first half, it was like a back and forth affair. Like you score, I score kind of game. But in the end, the Eagles did win this game. But something tells me Dallas is not to be reckoned with this year. As you can see here, Dak had 188 yards. Javonte Williams had all the touchdowns for the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb caught 110 yards. And the defense got to Jalen Hurts one time. Oh, yeah, and Brennan Aubrey hit two field goals. As for the Eagles, I mean, Jalen Hurts put on a pretty good performance. It felt like he didn't miss a pass at all. He had two rushing touchdowns. Saquon Barkley had the other rushing touchdown. And for some apparent reason, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown were both shut down. Kind of weird. As for the defense, despite the Eagles' defense, yeah, you could say that Jalen Carter was had a huge impact, but they didn't get to Jalen Hurts a ton. Moving on to our next game, we got the Chiefs and the Chargers, and this game was fun as hell to watch. All right. I mean, this game was all pretty much like somewhat of back and forth, you know. I mean, Mahomes played well. He had 258 yards and a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown. Travis Kelce, I mean, this game was electric to watch. As far as defense goes, the defense got to Justin Herbert three times, which is kind of crazy. But again, it wasn't enough. As for the Chargers, I mean, this was a great set the tone kind of game for Justin Herbert. 318 yards, three touchdowns. He did run for I think it was like 15 or 16 yards for the dagger, which is crazy. And the receiving was led by Quinn Johnson and Keenan Allen for touchdowns. Keenan Allen, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. And the defense, they got to Mahomes like twice, which is kind of impressive. All right, peeking at our first Sunday game, we had the Dolphins and the Colts, and honest to God, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm gonna say it later in this video, what I make of it. But this game was an embarrassment. Like as the hyena said in the Lion King movie, this game was ugly. I mean, look at this. Tua had 114 yards, a touchdown, two picks. Devon Achane had 55 yards rushing. All right. The only person that got a touchdown was Devon Achane. And their defense got to him one time to the Colts offensive line. Now, I know the Colts have a really good offensive line, but still. All right. As for the Colts, I mean, Daniel Jones looked amazing, 272 yards and a touchdown. Jonathan, he also ran for two touchdowns. All right. And the receiving was led by Michael Pittman Jr. with one touchdown. And their defense got after two or three times, which is pretty good. Moving on to the next game, we got, I think, probably the best game. Had the Bills and the Ravens not gotten crazy to the maximum level, and that's the Steelers and the Jets. This was by far and away my favorite morning game. I call like the 10 a.m. games the morning games, if you live on the West Coast, that is. But you know, Aaron had a bounce back game. I told you he was gonna have a bounce back. I told you he was gonna have a game. He's not washed. All right. 244 yards and a touchdown. The run game was not that great, but Aaron played well. DK Metcalf had 83 yards. Calvin Austin had a touchdown. Jalen Warren had a touchdown. Ben Skowronek had a touchdown. John Smith had a touchdown. Like it was a great game. And the defense, despite the Jets having an okay O-line, only got to Justin Fields once, which is kind of interesting. As for the Jets, I mean Justin Fields, man, balled out. He had 218 yards passing and a touchdown. Brees Hall went crazy, he had a touchdown. Justin Fields running for two more touchdowns. Braylon Allen touchdown. Garrett Wilson had a touchdown. And their defense got to Aaron Rodgers twice, which is kind of interesting. Peeking our next morning game, we got the Panthers and the Jags. And this game was actually, I think, delayed for a while because when I was watching the Steelers and the Jets game. It felt like we weren't getting enough score updates, but we finally did. Bryce Young did not play well. He had 154 yards, a touchdown, and two picks. Chuba Hubbard had 57 yards running, and he also had caught the lone touchdown from Bryce Young. And their defense, even though I said their defense was going to be good, they didn't get to Trevor Lawrence a lot, even though J.C. Horn did get that interception. As for Trevor Lawrence, I mean, Trevor had 178 yards and a touchdown. You know, Travis Etienne had a game. He had 143 yards rushing, and their bench was led by Brenton Strong with 59 yards. And then their touchdown was caught by Hunter Long. Looks like Brian Thomas Jr. was shut down. And their defense, I mean, their defense only got to him like once, which is kind of interesting. Peeking at the next morning game, we got the Cardinals and the Saints, and I felt like this game was just boring. And I'm not saying that to hate on both teams, it just felt boring. Kyler had 160 yards and two touchdowns. Um, Marvin Harrison Jr. caught a touchdown. James Conner also caught a touchdown. And the Cardinals defense got to him only once. As for the Saints, I mean, Spencer Rattler had 214 yards passing. Alvin Kamara, first time I've ever said that name in a long time. He had a rushing touchdown. And their defense got to Kyler, let's see, one, three, four, five times. Wow. Jesus. Picking of the next morning game, we got the Giants and the Commanders, and I'm not gonna kid you not. I might have been myself and probably a few other content creators kind of overhyped the Giants a little bit. Now you could say, Keon, it's the schedule, you know, and I will agree with you. It is the schedule. But Russ did not have a good game. He had 168 yards. As you can see here, it was a it was ugly. But in the Giants, even though the defense played really well, they were just tired. I mean, they got three sacks on the Commanders. That's pretty good. As for the Commanders, I mean, Jaden Daniels had 203 yards and a touchdown. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who I actually watched, I think he was the one in the preseason that played really well. He was electric. He had his first rushing touchdown. Deebo Samuel obviously having a rushing touchdown. Zach Ertz. Big man Zach Ertz had a touchdown, and their defense got after Russell Wilson twice. Interesting. Beginning of the next game, we got the Bucks and the Falcons, and this game proved me that the Falcons they're gonna be a tough out. You know, I mean Baker Mayfield had three touchdowns. He also led every running back. He was rushing for 39 yards. Mecca Buka had two touchdowns, and then Bucky Irvin had a receiving touchdowns, and their defense got to Michael Penix one time. I always think it was Kirk Cousins, but it's not Kirk Cousins. As for the Falcons, I mean, Penix had a pretty solid game. He had 298 yards and a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown. Bijan Robinson um led all receiving yards with 100 yards, and their defense got after Baker Mayfield once. Very interesting. Moving on, we got the Bengals and the Browns in this game, and I'm not saying this to diminish any team's fan base because I actually have a friend who's a Bengals fan. So, but this game was boring. I mean, Joe Burrow had 113 yards and a touchdown. Chase Brown had the other touchdown. Receiving led was by T. Higgins. Noah Fant had their lone touchdown. Jamar Chase was shut down. Like what? Like how is that possible? But their defense got after Joe Flacco twice, and then they caught two INTs. As for the Browns, I mean, Joe Flacco had 290 yards and a touchdown. He also threw two picks, and the receiving was led by Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman for the touchdown. And the defense got to Joe Burrow three times. Very interesting. Peeking at our next game, we got the Raiders and the Patriots, and I gotta say, even though I said this was an upset alert pick, I didn't fully was like fully bought in. You know, Gino had a really great game, 362 yards and a touchdown. He also threw an interception. Ashton Denty had his first rushing touchdown. Congratulations. He had 38 yards rushing though. And their bench, not their bench. Why did I say bench? The receiving was led by Brock Bowers with 133 yards. And their defense got 3 sacks on this. What people say are the improved Patriots O line. Like I know I said the Patriots are going to be a good team this year, but still, come on. As for the Patriots, I mean, Drake May had a really solid game. He had 287 yards passing and a touchdown and an interception. Keyshawn Boat had 133 yards receiving, and they got to Geno Smith. Seems like I have to do some quick math here, you guys. 4 times. Pretty good stuff for New England. Pretty tough loss for New England. Peeking at the first afternoon game of the season, we got the 49ers and the Seahawks, and already things are not looking good for the 49ers, because of the injuries. Brock Purdy had 277 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Christian McCaffrey had an okay game. He had 69 yards rushing, and the receiving was led by Ricky Pearsall with 108 yards. But George Kittle had a touchdown, and Jake Tonges had a touchdown. But their defense, I mean, the defense got to him one time, which is very rare, because this Seahawks defense, although things have changed, is one of the best in the business. As for the Seahawks, I mean, Sam Darnold had played okay. He had 150 yards passing. Zach Charbonnet had a touchdown, rushing touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba had 124 yards receiving, and their defense got to Brock Purdy one time, which is kind of interesting. Peeking at the next afternoon game, we got the Titans and the Broncos, and honestly, I'm impressed with the Titans that they put up a fight. Cam Ward had 112 yards passing. Their receiving and rushing was led by Calvin Ridley. I mean, not Calvin, Tony Pollard, 60 yards rushing and 29 yards passing. And their defense got after Bo Nix once, but they did force 2 turnovers, which is saying a lot. As for the Broncos, I mean, Bo Nix did not have a good game. He had 176 yards passing, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. RJ Harvey had 70 yards rushing. J.K. Dobbins had 63 yards rushing, but he also did add in a touchdown. And Cortland Sutton had the touchdown. And then the defense got after Cam Ward 6 times, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. Did you eat this? Peeking at the next afternoon game, we got the Lions and the Packers, and all I gotta say is, boy, did this game feel good. Jared Goff, 225 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. David Montgomery, 25 rushing yards. Jahmyr Gibbs had 19 yards rushing. When have we ever seen that, folks? And their receiving was led by Sam Laporte with 79 points. And their defense did not get after Jordan Love at all. As for the Packers, I mean, J-Lo had 180 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. All right. Josh Jacobs had a rushing touchdown, and the receiving was led by Romeo Dobbs, Jayden Reed, and Dontavian Wicks. Romeo had 68, Jayden Reed had 45 points, and the touchdown, and Tucker Kraft had a touchdown. And then, of course, the defense got after him, Jared Goff 3 times. And then, of course, Evan Williams got there, And then I think finally, then we got the Texans and the Rams. And honestly, I feel bad, not feel bad. I try to tell you guys why I did not pick the Texans to go to the playoffs this year. This offensive line is atrocious. I mean, look at this. CJ Stroud had 108 yards pass. I'm not saying it was his fault, but it kind of sucks when you don't have a good offensive line. I'm just saying that. Receiving was led by Jaden Higgins with 32 points, and even though Texans defense got after Matthew Stafford 3 times. It just wasn't enough. As for the Rams, I mean, Stafford had a pretty solid game. He had 245 yards and a touchdown. Kyron Williams also had a touchdown. Puka Nacua balled out. He had 130 yards receiving. And then, as I said, the Rams defense got after CJ Stroud 3 times. Next game, we got I think this might be in contention for one of the best games this season. We'll see. We got the Ravens and the Bills. Shout out both Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and Derrick Henry for carrying me in my first ever week 1 victory in fantasy football. I mean, look at this. Lamar Jackson, 209 yards throwing, passing, 2 touchdowns, 169 yards rushing for Derrick Henry, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson ran it in for another touchdown, you know. And their defense kind of collapsed a little bit. As for the Bills, I mean, Josh Allen was a meta-human, 395 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. James Cook, almost forgot to shout you, man. A touchdown. Josh Allen also ran it in for 2 touchdowns. And their defense got after Lamar Jackson twice. And then finally, we got the nightcap, which is the Vikings and the Bears. And honest to God, I didn't watch a ton of this game because I was kind of busy, but I did get some score updates. But, JJ McCarthy balled out, which I'm really impressed by. First game starting, and I found out that it was his hometown team, which is kind of cool. He balled out. All right, he started out slow, but in the fourth quarter, that's I think when he turned it up. He had 143 yards passing, 2 touchdown interception. He also ran it in for a touchdown. Jordan Mason had 68 yards passing, you know. Um, and the receiving was led by Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones. By Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones. And their defense got after Caleb Williams twice. Anyway, our next game, we got Caleb Williams. He had an okay game. I think he started 10 for 10, which is kind of impressive. He went 21 35 for 210 yards and a touchdown. He also ran it in for a touchdown. Their receiving was led by DJ Moore with 68 yards, and their defense got after JJ McCarthy twice, which is kind of interesting. So that is it for week 1. What are your guys' thoughts from week 1? Let me know in the comment section below. Moving on to our next segment, we're going to be talking about the Dolphins because shout out to my guy Andrew Whitworth because he actually said this on his podcast, Fits the Wits. He actually said this about the Dolphins starting out strong, and if it doesn't, all hell breaks loose. If you don't mind, I want you to take a listen to this. I'll give you guys my thoughts about it. So I'm going to pull up about it. Let me see if I could find it. Hold on a second. Let's look at this. Bits and wit. This is what Andrew Whitworth actually said, I think, prior to opening week. This is what he said. If you guys can hear my audio, this is what he said for this. All right.
Think my guy for this, and it's because of vibes, and I'm a vibe guy. It's Mike McDaniels, and it's honestly, it's not because they haven't been successful. Yeah, it's because the reality is they've been 22-8 against teams with losing records, but they've only been 6-17, 6 out of 17, 6 wins and 17 losses against teams with winning records over 500. Yeah. So the reality is they haven't really beat a lot of good teams during his time. And then it's the vibes on top of that. Like, that would be fine. Like, hey, you know what? We're learning who we are, whatever. But the talent, the expectations, I look at it like people talked about this team like they were a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. Like, man, they're going to just blow by people and they're going to dominate. And there was all this energy and excitement about who they were. And then this last offseason, it was Jalen Ramsey's getting traded. Jonas Smith wants, out. Tyreek Hill says after the season, I want out of here. I'm done. They come back to camp and you're like, oh man, the Bobs will be great now. They've kind of handled some of these things. I actually think first thing Tua does in an interview is say, you know what, Tyreek's still trying to earn our trust back. We're still trying to work on our relationship. To me, all those things scream like, man, the interviews are funny. The coach is eccentric and he's crazy intelligent. This is an awesome offense. It hasn't produced in the playoffs. And now we're starting to get those little things that exist in your building, little communications, little energy that comes out that tells me, man, I bet if we went in that equipment room, in that training room, in those places where the real truth comes out, and we said, hey, what do you think about this season? A couple of people would say, I hope we start fast because I think that they're in that range of if it starts slow or they don't play well out the gate, the vibes are not going to be good. First thing, I think there's a lot of questions with your secondary.
So my overall take on that is like 100% right. And what I saw from that game against the Colts was that things are not looking good. I personally want this Dolphins team to succeed. Like I love this team. I think the coach is great. And Mike McDaniel, I'm a huge Tua fan. I obviously love Tyreek, but like what we're said, like things are not looking good right now. And I thought going into week one, they were gonna beat, you know, the Colts. It was actually the Colts that beat the Dolphins. So we'll see what happens. What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, peering into our next segment, we're going to be grading every single team's stealth jersey for this upcoming season. All right, I know they have a different name for it, but like I'm gonna call it stealth jerseys, you know. I'm pretty sure this has all of the stealth jerseys, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong here. Let me know in the comment section below if you actually have a list for all the team's stealth jerseys for this upcoming season, because I'm not too sure. So we have the tier list. We will have the top tier, which is Where's My Wallet, which is basically me saying I would buy it. Below that, I'll think about it. Like I would consider it, not guarantee. Then we have, it's okay. Like some things are good. Then we have, I would wear it, but don't expect it to be every day. Basically, what that means is I would buy it. Like I would buy it, but like don't expect this to be like every day I wear this as like my proper attire. And then it's the bottoms I wear the tutu, which is ass. And I'm gonna be brutally honest with these. So we're gonna put this somewhere here. Let's start with the Commanders. I believe these are the Sean Taylor jerseys. I would think about it. I mean, obviously, as I said, I'm not a Commanders fan, you know, but like the fact that they're honoring some of their you know, old players like Sean Taylor, what's his face? Alfred Morris, like all these guys, like all these throwback players that used to play for the old Washington teams. I'll think about it. Next up, we got the Bucks. Where's my wallet? To me, the Bucks, in my opinion, have the best stealth jerseys outside the Philadelphia Eagles, in my opinion. All right. Like I remember as a kid, like I always wonder, like, what are these like orange is there like jersey stealth jerseys that the Bucks have? And then I Googled it and it showed that was really cool. Next up, we got the Chargers. I think these are like the blue ones. I would wear it, but don't expect it to be every day. It looks good, but I wouldn't say it's like elite. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we got I think these are the powder blue Chargers jersey. Yeah. Where's my wallet? These ones, in my opinion, are the best Chargers jerseys, in my opinion. And that's saying a lot, considering that like I've seen lot of Chargers jerseys in my day. Like these ones are like probably really sick. Next up, we got the Steelers. It's okay, they're good, but they're just not, fantastic. Next up, we got the Saints. I would think about it. I mean, those look really cool. I really like the design. But, next up we got the Bills. I mean, I'll think about it. I don't know why their helmets here. All right, next up we got the Browns. No offense. I would wear a tutu because I wish they brought back the dog. You know, if they had the dog in it, then this would be amazing. Next up, we got the Packers, and I'm gonna be brutally honest because I am a Packers fan. Okay, because there's a lot of people out there that don't think I am a Packers fan. I am. I'm gonna be brutally honest when I say this because the I remember seeing these jerseys like we would wear these jerseys like every other year. But with that said, I will wear it, but don't expect me it to be every day. Like these jerseys are good, but like they're not my favorite of the stealth jerseys they've had over the years. I don't know if you guys remember, they had this like green, dark green and like yellow in the top. If you guys know what I'm talking, if you for all my Packers brothers and sisters out there, you guys will probably know what I'm talking about. Next up, we got the Bills. Where's my wallet? These are the best stealth jerseys, in my opinion. And that's including the Kelly Green, and I love the Kelly Green of the Eagles. These ones are nice. Next up, we got the Dolphins. I actually don't mind this one. This one actually looks pretty cool, you know? Next up, we got the Jets. Honestly, these ones I would think about wearing the Jets. These ones look really cool. Like I like the Gotham City theme. Obviously, it's in New Jersey. That's amazing. Next up, I think these are the Patriots ones. Yeah, these are the Patriots one. I would think about them, you know? Like these ones are good, but they're not great, so yeah. Next up, we got the Rams. These are okay. These are okay. Next up, we got the Seahawks. They copied the Oregon Ducks. And as a Ducks fan, that kind of like, I don't know, that really hurts my soul a little bit. But I would consider buying one. I would consider it. Next up, we got the Cardinals. I think these are the Cardinals stealth jerseys. These are okay. These are not great. They're not my favorite stealth jersey, but they're okay. And finally, we got the 49ers. These ones, as much as I hate the Niners, these ones I would think about it. These ones are good, you know. So what are you guys' thoughts on every single team's stealth jersey for the 2025-26 season? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, so we're gonna go rapid fire with my NFL picks for this week, week 2 of the NFL season. Let me see. Let me see if I could. All right. Let me get my no, not this one. Where is all right, I'm gonna do some rapid fire picks, you know. You know. We got oh my God, not this again, man. All right, we're gonna okay. All right, we gotta go rapid fire with these. So let's start with week 2, Packers and the Commanders. I mean, I'm taking the Packers here. Better team, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers here to win this game. All right. Giants Commanders. I'm gonna take Giants Cowboys. I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are the better team, but I do expect the Giants to put up more of a fight. You know. All right, Bills Jets. I'm obviously gonna take the Bills, but the Jets they're gonna put up a fight. They're gonna put up a fight. Patriots Dolphins. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. All right. I know a lot of teams are like, kind of conflicted about the Dolphins moving forward, but I truly believe this team is gonna shake off that loss last week and like move on. Next up, we got the Rams and the Titans. I'm gonna take the Rams here, but I expect the Titans to keep it close. You know, Jaguars Bengals. I'm gonna take the Bengals to be honest with you. All right. Like who's stopping this trio? Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. Next up, we got the Seahawks and the Steelers. I am going to take the Steelers to win this game. I think Aaron's going to prove that he's still got the juice. Seattle, I think they're going to put up a fight, but we'll see how Sam Darnold looks when he's like, all right, against that really good Steelers defense. All right, 49ers, Saints, I'm gonna take the Niners here, you know. I think the 49ers is the much better team right now, but you know, I don't expect much. Bears Lions. This one's interesting. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the Lions here. I don't think the Lions are gonna look that embarrassing this year. Like I said, I think this team is a playoff team, but I don't expect them to be get them like I think they're upset, you know. Browns Ravens. I mean, I'm gonna take the Ravens here. All right. Broncos and the Colts. Uh I'm gonna take the Broncos. All right. And then we got the Panthers and the Cardinals. I am gonna take the Panthers to win this game. Actually, no, I'm gonna take the Cardinals. I'm gonna take the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are gonna put up a fight. And then we got, oh yes. Oh yeah, we got America's game of the week here, folks. Eagles and the Chiefs, Super Bowl rematch. I'm gonna take the Eagles. All right. I know that sounds crazy coming from my mouth, but I'm gonna take the Eagles to win this game. I just think right now the Chiefs, they don't have a ton of fiber. I know Mahomes and Kelsey are still there, you guys. Don't get on me in the comments, but still, I think the Eagles are just too much. Then we got the Falcons and the Vikings. This is my upset pick of the week. I am going to take the Falcons to win this game. Nothing against the Vikings, you guys. It's just that I think the Falcons played really well last week. And the reason why they lost was because, well, let's just say that Baker Mayfield is a dog. All right. Next game up, we got the Bucks and the Texans. This is a very good game, but I am going to take the Bucks to win this game. I just think the Bucks are more talented than the Texans. I do expect the Texans defense to get after Baker Mayfield, but offensively, I'd rather trust the Bucks offense than the Texans offense. No offense. And then finally, the nightcap, the Chargers and the Raiders. I'm going to take the Chargers to win this game. I think they have the better offense and the better defense, although I do expect Vegas to keep it close. And that is it for my week 2 NFL predictions. All right, I'm going to pull up my screen here, so I'm going to share it. These are my picks. I got the Packers winning, the Cowboys winning, the 49ers winning, the Lions winning, the Cardinals winning, the Falcons winning as my upset pick, the Rams beating the Titans, the Steelers beating the Seahawks, the Eagles beating the Chiefs, the Bucks beating the Texans, the Bills beating the Jets, Dolphins beating the Patriots, Bengals beating the Jags, Ravens beating the Browns, the Broncos beating the Colts, and the Chargers beating the Raiders. So what are your guys' thoughts on week 2 of my NFL predictions? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I enjoyed making it. If you did, please get a like, subscribe, turn that post notification bell. All right, I will let you guys know when my next upload will be. I think my next video on this channel will probably be my way too early NBA predictions for this upcoming 2025-26 season. With that being said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.